The bean curd in oyster sauce recipe serves 4. 2 tablespoons oil. 2 green onion, white and greens separated, minced. 1 1/4 cup semi-firm bean curd tofu. Soaked in hot water 15 minutes, drained, dried, cut into 1-inch cubes. For the sauce, 1 tablespoon oyster sauce, 1/2 tablespoons soy sauce, 1 tablespoon dry sherry, to taste chicken stock.
Hi, next dish I'd like to do is the typical Cantonese style cooking, is the bean curd with oyster sauce. Bean curd in Chinese we call tofu. A lot of areas, especially in the West Coast, actually people call it tofu instead of bean curd. But anyway, tofu with oyster sauce or bean curd with oyster sauce. Oyster sauce is a typical Cantonese product. Other regional cooking do not use oyster sauce or use very, very little. For those people who like to use the oyster sauce, you please watch out because the oyster sauce quite salty. So you make sure you use the limited amount to make sure you get the flavor, but not too salty, okay? The ingredients of this dish, of course, we start with bean curd. You cannot use the silky bean curd because it's too soft. You really should use the firm one, okay? You dice them. Sometimes you like to do the 1 inch by 2 inch, but this is large cube size just fine. Then, of course, you use oyster sauce, a little soy sauce, white onion, and green onion. We're going to basically use a little bit more salt for adjust the taste, a touch of sugar, chicken stock, a little liquid cornstarch, salt and pepper, finalized with a little sesame oil, and of course you also use a little bit of cooking wine sherry there, okay? Right now I'd like to start with the first step, blanch the bean curd. I put the bean curd in the boiling water, just blanch it very, very briefly, okay? You make sure very gentle, you don't want to break the pieces, okay? Because bean curd is very, very fragile. Nice. Basically because the tofu, the tofu you got it is actually in a box. You really need to get it out, go through a blanching to get rid of all the unpleasant flavor from the box, all right? So now we shake off the hot water. I'm going to put on the plate. I move on to the stir fry and a little slow cooking method for the oyster tofu. Here we are, very nice, very nice. Now, I'm going to turn on the stove. Ready? Going to use a little bit of oil. Just 1 teaspoon. That's good enough. Okay. I start with a little white onion. This is seasoning. I want to make sure the aroma. Good. Good. Now, I like to put the chicken stock in there because this way I'm going to adjust the flavor first before I put the tofu in there. Oyster sauce as a major ingredients. All right. And I put a little bit of soy because the oysters are salty. Then I need sugar. I'm not going to put the salt in there because the oyster sauce and the soy sauce probably is salty enough. I can adjust the flavor with the salt a little bit later. I'm going to need a little Shaoxing cooking wine. They're all in there. Oh, touch of a white pepper. All right, incorporate the sauce there. Right now, I'm going to put the tofu in there. Okay, this is a very key important. You do not toss the fry pan or the wok because you might break the tofu. So what you do is that you shake the pan very, very gently. You try to coat the tofu with the sauce very gently. Do not toss the fry pan. All right? I might need just a little bit of water because I want this tofu simmer a little bit, all the nice flavors sucked in. Okay, I want to taste the flavor a little bit now. I would like to have just a little more oyster sauce. Okay, at this moment, I'd like to turn the flame down a little bit, halfway. I go through a little simmer process. Let the tofu incorporate with the sauce, get all the flavor sucked into the tofu. All right, nice. Just a little bit longer. All right, I shake the fry pan. Gently stir a little bit. Do not toss because you want to maintain the nice, wonderful knife cuts of the tofu there. Okay? And then also, it's a little reduction procedure over here too. Right now, I like to use a little bit the liquid cornstarch, very little bit, because the sauce is getting a little thicker. Just a little bit. A little bit. Okay, shake the pan again. Nice, very nice. Sesame oil. Finalize the cooking. Look at it, how nice it is. Okay, this is the tofu with oyster sauce. In the meantime, I like to have a little bit of the green onion for garnishing. One more touch. Here we are. This is a beautiful bean curd with oyster sauce.